Wave. Short story by Theodore Taylor. A killer wave, known to mariners as a rogue wave, was approaching a desolate area of Baja California, below Ensenada. It had been born off the east coast of Australia during a violent storm. It had traveled almost 7,000 miles at a speed of 20.83 miles an hour. Driven by an unusual pattern of easterly winds, it was a little over 800 feet in length and measured about 48 feet from the bottom of its trough to its crest. On its passage across the Pacific, it had already killed 13 people, mostly fishermen in small boats, but also an entire French family of 5 aboard a 48-foot schooner. Melissa Scoot Atkins went below into the old Sea Dog's tiny galley, moving down the 3 steps of the companionway, closing the 2 solid entry doors behind her. Always a good idea in offshore sailing. The 3 horizontal hatchboards that were on top of the doors were also firmly in place, securing the 30-foot Baba type against sudden invasion of seawater. Rogues and sneakers have been around since the beginning of the oceans, and the earliest sea literature makes note of giant waves. The U.S. Navy Manual, Practical Methods for Observing and Forecasting Ocean Waves, says, in any wave system, after a long enough time, an exceptional high one will occur. These monstrous outsized waves are improbable but still possible, and the exact time of occurrence can never be predicted. Naval hydrography studies indicate that waves 15 to 25 feet high qualify for sneaker or sleeper status. The freak rogue is up to 100 feet or over. As waters slowly warm, they seem to be occurring more frequently. In 1995, the Queen Elizabeth II, the QE2, the great British passenger liner, encountered a 95-foot rogue south of Newfoundland. More than 900 feet long, the QE2 rode over it, but her captain said it looked like they were sailing into the White Cliffs of Dover. Sullivan Atkins, Scoot's oldest brother, was steering the cutter-rigged boat on a northerly course about 15 miles up desolate Cabo Colnet, south of Ensenada. Under a brilliant sun, the glittering blue Pacific rose and fell in long, slick swells, a cold light breeze holding steady. Below deck, Scoot was listening to Big Sandy and his fly-right boys doing Swingin' West and singing along with them while slicing leftover steak from last night's meal. They grilled it on a small charcoal ring that was mounted outboard on the starboard side at the stern, trailing sparks into the water. The Sea Dog had every blessed thing, including a barbecue pit, she marveled. Scoot was learning how to be a deep-water sailor. She was 14 years old and pretty with dark hair. Though small in size, not even 5 feet, she was strong. She'd started off with 8-foot sabots. On this trip, her first aboard the Sea Dog, she'd manned the wheel for most of the 3 days they'd been underway. She'd stood 4-hour watches at night. Sully was a good teacher.